So let's say you've produced a graph and it looks like this. And you think to yourself, oh, I'm not keen on this graph. I'd like it rotated by 90 degrees to the left so the peak goes upwards instead of horizontal. Actually, the graph is fine, really, but it does look nicer with the peak going upwards. So you're saying, well, how do I change it? What do I do? How do I rotate the axes? So I'm going to show you now. Let's say you've got a set of data. So this is X and this is Y. Okay, and I'll make them smooth. So X and Y data, let's plot a graph. I've just randomly made this up, so, well, not the X column doesn't look that random. But anyway, I'll put it in, I'll put insert shapes. No, that's the wrong one. Insert, sorry, scatter graph, and there we go. Oh, isn't that weird? Okay, that's not the prettiest looking graph. But anyway, let's say, and I'm going to put some axes on, so I'm going to quick layout, and I usually go to the bottom left. And I'll just write in there, all right, Y, and in there, all right, X. Okay, so you'd like to change these axes around. So I'm going to copy this graph for a moment to make two versions, and the one on the right is the one I'm going to change around. So in this one I'm going to change around, I put my mouse in the center of the graph, right click, and it says select data. There it says it's Y. So I'm going to edit that data. The top column actually is this. It's a block. You can see the dotted line around it. So the top column gives you what you put at the block. Then the X values you can see are there. But I want them to switch around. And then the Y values are here. But like I said, I want them to switch around. So there's two options I could do. This is the really quick option, is to look inside the cells here very closely, and you'll see that the cells it's belong to have the letter B, and it says from B4 to B15. So this is B4 to B15 here. And the next one is the C's. But if I change the B in here to a C, there we go, and switch the other one round from C back to B, then when we have a look at it and say, okay, we've now switched the axes around, and all we need to do now, because we sort of switched them around before, now these labels are wrong. So no, they're right, aren't they? That's right, yeah, that's right. So Y is still going up there, and X is that way. I have to think about that one actually. Can't be. No, I will have to change them around actually. So this is now X because we have switched them around. Delete. That's X, and this one is Y. Okay, so that's one way of changing the axes. The other way of changing the axes is you do it again. So let's copy this one. Control C, Control V. So it's an identical copy down there again. This time I select data, edit, and then this column here, I click the box over there, and it's highlighted that set of data. So instead I highlight that one. And this is the one I normally do actually, and that one, it's highlighted this one, but I scroll down that one. And then I go down and I say OK. OK. And now, this one, we still have to change these axes around, but this is the same as that. So we have switched the axes around. Now, if this, let's say, take this, and we're going to copy this one, copy, and we're going to put this into a separate sheet. So moves chart, like I've told people to do. So now it's in the separate sheet, then it becomes a little bit more difficult, but not much. So I want to switch this data around. So I go select data, do exactly what I did before, edit, go into this, click that box here. But this time I've got to go, if it's not already done so, I've got to go back to the data sheet. And then this one, click this one, I've got to go. It might not automatically take you back to the data sheet, that's the thing. And then say OK, and then it'll switch round. But in the case I've just given you now, it automatically went back to the data, but normally it doesn't, and therefore you've got to click on the data sheet, which was this one here, to go and decide which ones are X's and which ones Y. Okay, that's how to switch the data around, but remember, if you're switching them around, you've got to think about the labels on the axes as well.